Canadian Immigration News 2026. Thinking about moving to Canada in 2026? With immigration rules constantly changing, choosing the right pathway can feel overwhelming. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Volte Immigration YouTube channel. Canada continues to be one of the most welcoming countries for immigrants. And as we look ahead to 2026, the government is further strengthening its immigration system to support economic growth, reunite families, and uphold humanitarian commitments. Whether you're a skilled worker, an international student, a business owner, or planning to reunite with loved ones, understanding Canada's immigration programs for 2026 is more important than ever. That's where Volte Immigration comes in. In today's video, we'll break down Canada's key immigration programs for 2026, explain what they mean for applicants, and show you how Volte Immigration can guide and support you every step of the way. Here's how the latest Canadian immigration levels plan, 2026 to 2028, and key programs line up for 2026, and what it means for anyone planning to immigrate and stay in Canada. 1. What Canada's 2026 plan is prioritising? Permanent residence is stable, but more economic focused. Canada plans to admit 380,000 permanent residents per year in 2026, 2027 and 2028. The plan increases emphasis on economic immigration, with the economic category becoming the largest share, reaching 64% in 2027 to 2028. Federal High Skilled and the Provincial Nominee Program are specifically highlighted for increased admissions. Temporary residents are being reduced to sustainable levels. Canada is aiming to reduce the temporary resident share to less than 5% of the total population by the end of 2027. The plan sets targets for new temporary resident arrivals at 385,000 in 2026 and 370,000 in 2027 and 2028. Within that, planned new arrivals include 155,000 students in 2026 and 230,000 workers in 2026. Canada is maintaining a steady number of permanent resident admissions while placing a stronger focus on economic immigrants and managing temporary resident levels more carefully, which can be great news when you understand how it benefits you, what challenges it may create, and which pathway is the best fit for your goals. Advantages: predictable PR targets help long-term planning. Strong demand for skilled workers, continued focus on family reunification. Provinces have more influence through PNPs. Disadvantages: fewer opportunities for low-skilled applicants. More competition for PR. Tighter controls on students and temporary workers. How this affects you. If your goal is to stay permanently, the best odds are increasingly tied to skills and jobs Canada needs, especially through Express Entry and PNPS. It may be more competitive to come first as a student or temporary worker, and compliance matters more than ever. Strong documents, truthful purpose, and meeting all conditions. Volte Immigration's tips. Plan your immigration journey backward from permanent residence, not just entry to Canada. Choose pathways that align with in-demand occupations and provincial needs. Strengthen your English and/or French language skills, as language remains a key selection factor if applying as a student or worker. Ensure your application clearly supports a realistic long-term plan. Maintain full compliance with your temporary status to protect future PR eligibility. Avoid trial and error applications. Early professional guidance can reduce risks and costly mistakes. Volte Immigration helps you understand how Canada's 2026 priorities apply to your unique profile, so you can make informed decisions and move forward with confidence. 2. Express Entry, including category-based draws. Express Entry remains Canada's main system for skilled workers, now with targeted draws for in-demand occupations. IRCC continues to run category-based invitations aimed at economic goals, including categories such as French language proficiency, healthcare and social services, STEM trades, agriculture and agri-food education, physicians with Canadian work experience, advantages faster processing than many other programs. No job offer required. In many cases, category-based draws increase chances for in-demand occupations. French speakers have an added advantage. Disadvantages: highly competitive CRS score system. Scores fluctuate frequently. Strong language and education requirements. Not ideal for applicants with limited work experience. How this affects you Express Entry is ideal if you have strong education, language skills and work experience, but it requires careful planning and score optimization. Even if your CRS score isn't perfect, being in an in-demand category or having French can improve your chances. Volte Immigration's tips identify your correct NOCTEER classification and confirm it aligns with an in-demand category. Choose your immigration strategy based on both CRS score and category eligibility, not just points alone. Invest early in improving English and/or French language scores. As language is one of the highest scoring factors, complete your educational credential assessment as early as possible. Gather detailed, accurate work reference letters that clearly match NOC duties. Keep all documents current and ready before receiving an invitation to apply, monitor draw trends and program changes regularly, as priorities can shift. Seek professional guidance if your profile is complex or your CRS score needs improvement. Volte Immigration provides compassionate, knowledgeable support throughout the entire Express Entry process, from profile creation to permanent residence submission, helping you move forward with confidence and clarity. 3. Family sponsorship programs. Family reunification remains a cornerstone of Canada's immigration system. In 2026, Canada continues to prioritise sponsorship for spouses and common law partners, dependent children, parents and grandparents. These programs are designed to help families reunite and build a secure future together in Canada. Advantages of family sponsorship programs. No points-based system. Applicants are not assessed using CRS scores. Stable pathway to permanent residence. Especially strong for spouses and children. Emotional and social stability. Families can live and settle together. Faster processing for spouses and dependent children compared to many economic programs. Disadvantages of family sponsorship programs. Income requirements for sponsors, especially for parents and grandparents. Longer processing times for the parents and grandparents program. Strict documentation requirements to prove genuine relationships. Limited intake and lottery-based invitations for parent and grandparent sponsorship. By aligning each application with Canada's 2026 immigration priorities and ensuring accuracy at every stage, applicants are better positioned to navigate the process with clarity and confidence. While immigration decisions are made solely by Canadian authorities, professional guidance helps reduce avoidable errors and supports informed decision-making throughout the journey. How this affects applicants. For many families, sponsorship is one of the most reliable ways to obtain permanent residence in Canada. However, applicants must be prepared for detailed documentation, long wait times, and financial requirements. Careful preparation is essential to avoid refusals or delays. Spousal and child sponsorship generally offer smoother processing, while parent and grandparent sponsorship requires patience and long-term planning. Family sponsorship is one of the most secure PR pathways, but applications must be carefully prepared to avoid refusals. Volte Immigration's tips. Confirm sponsor eligibility early including income requirements and residency obligations. Prepare clear and consistent proof of genuine relationships, photos, communication records, joint documents. Avoid missing or incomplete documents, which are common causes of delays and refusals. Apply as early as possible when intake windows open, especially for parent and grandparent sponsorship. Keep copies of all submissions and track application. Timelines carefully. Respond promptly to any requests from IRCC or Service Canada. Seek professional guidance if there are past refusals, complex family situations, or changes in status. International students and post-graduation immigration. Canada has been tightening temporary resident volumes and integrity rules. It views international students as future permanent residents. A key change is already in effect. PG, WP applicants must meet minimum language proficiency, with higher requirements for university grads and lower for college graduates. Impact. Studying in Canada can still lead to PR, but success depends more on the program you choose, your language level, your ability to transition into needed work experience. What to do now? Pick studies aligned with occupations in demand. Plan your study work PR pathway before you apply. Maintain compliance, enrolment, progress, finances. Canada continues to welcome students, but with stricter controls and expectations. Advantages. Canadian education improves PR chances, access to post-graduation. Work permit, PGWP, easier transition to Canadian work experience. Multiple PR pathways after graduation. Disadvantages, higher financial requirements. Stricter study permit approvals, PGWP eligibility rules are more limited. No guarantee of permanent residence. How this affects you. Studying in Canada must be strategic, not just academic. Choosing the wrong program can limit PR options. Volte Immigration's tips. Select a designated learning institution, DLI, and program that supports PGWP eligibility. Avoid programs with limited job prospects or weak PR pathways. Strengthen your language scores early, as they now play a critical role post-graduation. Gain relevant part-time or co-op experience while studying, where permitted. Keep all documents organised, including transcripts, enrolment letters, and financial records. File taxes correctly during and after your studies. Start planning your PR strategy at least 12 to 18 months before graduation. Seek professional guidance early to avoid costly mistakes. Temporary foreign worker and LMIA programs. The plan includes targets for workers through the International Mobility Program, IMP, and the Temporary Foreign Worker TFW program, and emphasises aligning temporary and permanent pathways. It also includes a one-time initiative to accelerate transition of up to 33,000 temporary workers to permanent residents in 2026 and 2027. When Canadian employers can't find local workers, they can hire foreign workers through an LMIA. This often leads to permanent residence. Advantages. Direct access to Canadian work experience. Job offers can increase PR points. High demand in healthcare, trades, and caregiving. Some streams lead directly to PR. Disadvantages. Employer-dependent status LMIA process can be complex risk. If employment ends, temporary status first. PR not guaranteed. How this affects you. This pathway works best when combined with a clear PR plan, not as a standalone solution. If you're already in Canada, working, or coming on a work permit, the system is increasingly designed to transition people with Canadian experience into PR if they meet criteria. Volte Immigration's tips. Keep all employment documentation accurate and up to date, including job duties, pay records, contracts, and tax filings. Ensure your work experience aligns with the correct NOC/TEER classification. Avoid gaps in status and always maintain valid work authorization. Begin planning your permanent residence pathway early, not after your work permit expires. Where possible, build toward permanent residence through Canadian Experience Class (CEC) or Provincial Nominee Program (PNP) streams. 6. Humanitarian and refugee programs. Canada remains committed to protecting vulnerable populations by offering pathways for individuals who are facing hardship, risk, or exceptional circumstances. These pathways include refugee resettlement programs, humanitarian and compassionate H&C applications. These programs play a vital role in providing protection, stability, and a chance to rebuild lives in Canada. Advantages of humanitarian and refugee programs. Protection for vulnerable individuals and families. No points-based or CRS system. Consideration of personal circumstances, including hardship and risk. Best interests of children are a key factor in decision-making and can provide a pathway to permanent residence when no other options exist. Disadvantages of humanitarian and refugee programs. No guaranteed approval. Decisions are discretionary. Long processing times are common. Applications require strong evidence and detailed documentation. Emotionally demanding process for applicants. Not intended as a shortcut to immigration. How this affects you. Humanitarian and refugee pathways are designed for individuals who cannot safely or reasonably return to their home country, or who would face significant hardship if required to leave Canada. These programs are best suited for people who have limited or no access to economic or family-based programs, have established strong ties to Canada, can clearly demonstrate hardship, risk, or compassionate grounds. Because approval is discretionary, careful preparation and strong evidence are critical. Volte Immigration's tips. Be honest and detailed when explaining your personal circumstances. Provide clear evidence to support claims of hardship or risk. Focus on establishment in Canada, community ties, and family impact. Avoid submitting incomplete or weak applications. Seek professional guidance early to assess eligibility. Canada's immigration programs for 2026 offer many opportunities, but choosing the right pathway and applying correctly can make all the difference. At Volte Intercontinental Visa and Immigration Incorporated. We understand that immigration is more than paperwork. It's about people, families, and building a secure future. That's why we take the time to understand your goals and guide you through every step with care, clarity, and expertise. If you're planning your journey to Canada, we're here to help. Visit the Volte Immigration website to learn more about our services. Follow us on Facebook for the latest updates and helpful immigration tips. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for trusted guidance and updates on Canadian immigration programs. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to helping you take the next step toward your future in Canada.